You're listening to Greater Good Radio Hawaii. Please visit us online at greatergoodradio.com. Today's guest is Dr. HANK WUH, an inventor of 5 issued and numerous pending patents, and the founder and CEO of Cellular Bioengineering, Inc., which has been quoted having $1 billion potential. What is your role in the company? Are you doing the inventing and the science behind it, or are you the one that's speaking to people and trying to get them to help fund your company and support what you folks are doing?
Well, I'm the founder of the company. My current job title is CEO, and what that means really is you do everything that's necessary to make it work. And I think fundamentally the most important thing is to basically find and recruit great people of all sorts, right? Because you need engineers, you need scientists, you need people who understand regulatory issues, working with the FDA. You need individuals who understand patents and intellectual property. So my job is really that of a cheerleader, if you will, right? You want the world to, number one, understand why this is an important project, why it's going to have a huge impact on the future, and 2, for them to not only understand it, but then embrace it and become part of it and make it something that they really believe in and drive things forward. So that's really my job is that of both as an executive and as an evangelist on behalf of the company.
How did this whole thing get started? I mean, you went to medical school, correct, to be a surgeon?
Yes, the happiest 14 years of my life.
So what happened then? You started doing residency and then you decided not to practice medicine? Or
Actually, I did practice medicine.
Okay.
In fact, so I went to medical school at Johns Hopkins. I finished at Hopkins and I went to, I did a year of general surgery, finished my internship in general surgery at the University of Hawaii. Then I went to Stanford to be trained as an orthopedic surgeon. And so I finished at Stanford as orthopedic surgeon and as a chief resident at Stanford. Then I finished a fellowship in sports medicine focusing on shoulder and knee reconstruction. But during my tenure at Stanford, I really sort of fell in love with what I love to do the most in life, which is to invent, basically. So I started to invent lots of different things while I was a resident at Stanford: gadgets, devices, instrumentations. And I started to find that there are small companies and large companies who are very interested in acquiring or licensing my technologies and inventions. So basically, one thing led to another, and that's how I basically eventually became a full-time inventor, entrepreneur, starting companies around technologies in healthcare.
Do you have any of these technologies that we've maybe heard about?
Possibly. I think I have probably, I would say, maybe between 13 to 15 products on the market that have been involved in, the conceptualization, development, and inventing. But they're all in the health or medical or surgical areas.
Okay.
So all of your gadgets are in the medical field. It's not like an everyday use type of tool.
I've had some interesting ideas for everyday tools as well, but my focus really is in healthcare.
You were mentioning that you wanted to focus on not too much of the everyday gadgets, but the medical gadgets. Are there any gadgets that you could tell us about that we might see in a doctor's office?
Let me think.
Or a hospital.
Probably you see a lot of my gadgets in the operating room. For example,
so hopefully we don't see it, right?
Hopefully you don't see it, but if you see it, I think you'll be very happy with it. Devices for artificial hip replacement surgery. We actually have also consumer healthcare products in a variety of areas. For example, products in the area of reproductive health, fertility, and so on and so forth.
So you don't manufacture the products yourself then? You conceptualize the idea, patent it, and then license it to another company?
No, usually when we initially have an idea, I mean, the determination really is this a product or is this a company, right? If it's a product, what you want to do is develop the product to a point where it can be sold or licensed. But if it's a company, what I'd like to do is then bring the people and the resources together to really build a company around a technology that could be a platform, basically.
Did you always have that thought of being able to build the company? Because you have a really good top-level perspective. A lot of times entrepreneurs start and they maybe invent something or they come up with something and they become the end-all. I mean, they're doing everything in their company. Sounds like you have a much different perspective.
I think my philosophy is very simple. Everyone's got unique talents and expertise in certain things, and no one can do everything, basically. And so it's extraordinarily important to bring in people who are really good at, various areas of specialty, right? People good at operations, people good at finance. There are those who are good at engineering, good at manufacturing, regulatory, and so on and so forth. So like I said before, it's really about building a team of individuals who can together create a lot of value together and hopefully do something that's going to really make an impact.
At what point in your life did you realize that it's about building a team and it's not all about you?
I think I learned that early on in life, actually, because, if you really think about it, most of the things that we do in life that's enjoyable, that brings us, memories that's long-lasting, really involves a lot of people, right? Whether it's friends or relatives or people we really care about. So it's it always takes, as they say, it takes a village, basically, to make anything worthwhile successful.
So the other product that Cellular Bioengineering is working on is a nerve cell on a chip?
Yes. Last year, we licensed a technology from the Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory. And it's a very interesting technology. What it does is it allows us to grow nerve cells on the surface of a chip. And it allows us to grow those nerve cells in very specific patterns. So the idea is we can now basically grow a circuit board of neural cells from the brain on the surface of a chip. And that has, very significant implications for the future in terms of what it can do to augment memory and nerve function.
Thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned for more on Greater Good Radio.